Hey, it's the Yogi Momo. We're at day 17 of the gratitude series, and today's focus is Dhanurasana bow pose. We're going to spend a lot of time in our belly, but don't let that fool you. Lots of work, but lots of good things coming your way. Hello, and welcome to today's Vinyasa Flow. Our focus is bow Dhanurasana. And we are really not only going to work on opening up the heart, but we're going to do a little work in the legs to get these quads and hamstrings nice and stretched. So whatever you need out of your body today, we're going to do our very best to tap into your subtle energy, really strengthen your muscles, and get you ready for whatever comes your way after you leave your mat. So let's start off on our mat. We're actually just going to come to a seated position. Just find your way to a comfortable spot. Bow is one of those really nice poses. Gets you down on your mat or on your belly, but it really does a lot for your hamstrings, for your glutes, for your quads, and really for your chest and your arms. It looks on the surface like maybe kind of a simple pose, but it is one of those that packs a lot of punch for your body and in a really, really, really good way. So just think about it as a whole body all over kind of thing that we're going to do today. But by the time we're finished, hopefully some of your stress will be gone. More room in your heart for all that gratitude that you're trying to muster up and try to keep close to your spirit. So, hands are on your knees. Just relax your shoulders, close your eyes. Oh, just let the day go. If your day's just getting started, just clear out the cobwebs of yesterday. If your day is already beginning to end, you're on the downhill slope, just push aside whatever has been in your path today. We know we have to eventually pick those things up, but while you're on your mat, just gently put them to the side. This is not their time, this is your time. And as your eyes are closed, just gently kind of roll your eyes inward toward the center of your forehead. I know it may feel a little strange to do that with your eyes closed, but just imagine that you're looking right up in that center of your forehead, that spot right between your brows. Don't strain to do it, just kind of gently roll the eyeballs up into the middle. And the reason we do that is your physical turning inward. You can adjust your eyes back to normal. Eyes are still closed. But that's what we want to do with all parts of us. We want to turn our focus inward. Almost as if we're rolling those eyes up into the middle toward the center of our forehead. No longer looking out at the world, at all the things that everyone and everything needs from us. Instead, we're going to take care of ourselves, the most important relationship that we've got. We're going to roll through some 3-part breath, and we're going to do it with our seated cat-cow. So open up your eyes. We're sitting up nice and tall. The way we're going to breathe is we're going to inhale belly, fill the ribs, fill the chest, and we're going to do that while we lean back slightly into cow pose. And then when we begin to exhale, we let the air go out from the chest, from the ribs, from the belly, and we begin to fold into cat pose. So in cow, we lift our head, we have that little tiny back bend, and in cat, we arch the back and our chin comes down toward our chest. It may touch it, it may not. That part doesn't matter. So here we go, hands are on the knees. Breathe from your belly. Inhale, let your head hang back, chest lifts up slightly. Exhale, let the air go as you round into those arching. You arch your back, you round your chin toward your chest. Inhale, drop those shoulders, start to look up. Exhale, rounding into cat. Arch the back slightly. We're moving really slow here. Inhale, cow. It's not a deep back bend, it's not a deep arch. Exhale, cat. Keep going, inhaling cow. Exhaling, let all the air go. Cat, roll those shoulders towards your ears. Let's do 5 more of those. Cow and cat. 4 more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Remember, it's a slow, consistent movement. Cow and cat. 2 more. Cow. And roll the shoulders, cat. Last one, inhaling cow. And exhaling cat. And then come back up to seated. Let's kind of roll those shoulders just a little bit. We got to get that spine so that it's moving from extension to flexion. Your spine just going back and forth with your neck, so that no matter what movements you ask of it, we've started to warm up from the low back to the mid back to the upper back to the shoulders to the neck. Doesn't mean you're completely warmed up, but we've at least started the work. All right, so I want you to take your right hand, put it right behind you like an anchor. Left hand is on the right knee. Sit up nice and tall right here. I want you to inhale. And as you exhale, start to twist and look over toward the right. Maybe you're looking directly to the right. Maybe you're starting to look toward the right shoulder. Don't force it. The key is keep those shoulders down away from your ears, sitting up nice and tall. Come back to center. Let's switch. This time the left hand anchors behind you. The right hand is on the left knee. Shoulders dropped from the ears. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Look to the left. Keep breathing. Once we twist, we don't hold the breath. We keep breathing, maybe twisting a little more, looking toward the left shoulder. Come back to center. Let's do it one more time. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind us. Sit up tall as we inhale. Exhale, twist. Maybe your twist is a little more this time. But we're going to need these muscles all throughout our back to really support us, not only in our postures today, but we need them just for our physical health. Send the breath into the body. Come back to center. Switch. Last time. Right hand, left knee. Left hand is your anchor back here. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist left. Every time you inhale, you are filling every cell of your body with beautiful pranic energy. Oh, it's just exactly what your body needs, I promise. And let's come back to center. All right, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. We're going to get ready for some actual cat-cows. The first rounds, we're seated. So we're coming into hands and knees. So we're going to be in all fours. Hands are going to be stacked under the shoulders. And the one thing I want you to get used to is every time your hands come to the mat, I want you to spread your fingers wide. So whether it's here for cat-cow, it's plank, it's down dog, it's cobra, I want you to get used to that. So try not to keep the fingers together. We need them spread wide so we can actually stabilize ourselves and distribute the weight through all the different points that we're touching the mat with. So here we go. All fours, fingers spread wide. Same exact thing. We're going to do 5 cat-cows here. So begin to drop your belly, lift your chest as you inhale. Exhale, arch the back, chin goes toward the chest. Inhale, drop your belly, look up. Exhale, arch the back, chin to the chest. 3 more. Inhaling to cow. Exhaling to cat. And cow. And cat. Last one. Drop that belly, look up. Arch the back, chin to the chest. And here we are, back in all fours. All right, we're really going to need our shoulders this morning for where we're headed. So from these all fours, I want you to keep the knees where they are. Begin to walk the hands up. And you think, okay, that's far enough. Nope, walk them up a little more. They might even come off the mat. Your bottom's going to kind of stick up in the air. And what I want you to do is bring your forehead down toward the mat and rest here. This is called puppy pose or melting heart. So your heart's kind of melting down toward the mat. Your bottom's sticking up. Your toes are not curled or not tucked. Your feet are just resting on the mat. And where we're feeling this stretch is coming from the armpits, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, running down the arms, all the way into your wrists and your fingers as your fingers reach high above you. Stay here for 3 more breaths. One more. Start to walk the hands back toward the face, then lift your head up, and we are ready to try a couple forearm planks. So our first forearm plank, I want everyone's knees to be down. We're going to try forearm plank with knees down for everyone. That way you don't feel like you got to keep them up. So from all fours, I want you to put your forearms on the mat. So you have the choice right here with a 90-degree angle, hands are out, or make fists with your hands, or bring the hands together as your arms actually form a V. You have choices. Maybe you play with all 3 and you see what works for you. Send your left foot back, lift your knee. Send your right foot back, lift your knee. So first get the balls of the feet on the mat. Now lower the knees down. So right here, I want the balls of the feet still rooting down. So you're not on your tippy toes, you're on the balls of the feet. Even here, push through the heels. You should feel the lengthening from your crown of your head all the way out through those heels. Breathe here. I know you're already feeling this a little in the low back. Your low back is a critical part of your core. Keep breathing. Rooting into those forearms. 2 more breaths. Lower everything down to the mat. Release the hands. Put your right cheek on the mat. Here's where we'll rest. So what I want you to do is I want you to consciously let go of all those low back muscles. They just engaged to keep you up in plank. Now we allow them, we truly allow them to let everything go and release here in crocodile. Just let it go. Keep the body on the mat, lift the head, turn. So now put your left cheek, your left temple on the mat. So it's just a little bit of extra stretch for your neck as we twist while the low body is recovering, because we got another plank coming. Turn the gaze back to center. Press the hands to the mat. Let's come back up to all fours. Now, you know what it looks like to have the knees down for plank. So if that's the where your body is today, you stay on your knees. It is still a plank. You are still working your core. You have to gradually move into knees up. So give your body some grace. Accept where you are. You do your plank. Here we go. Forearms come down. We're going to be here for 10 breaths. So here we go. Feet go back. Knees can be down. Knees can be up. You can also rotate between 3 breaths up, 3 breaths down. You decide. Let's go. 10 breaths. You've got this. That's 3 breaths. You have 7 left. That's the halfway point. Here we go. 5 more. Two breaths. On your exhale, lower everything onto the mat. This time, stretch your arms high above your head, right cheek on the mat. And we recover. Letting all those muscles from the belly, from the side body, from the low back, let them go. Even though we were counting breaths, there's a chance you might have held it along the way. If you were holding your breath, let's reconnect right here. Remember, we breathe from the belly, fill up the lungs, and then we slowly let it go. Lift your head, switch to the left cheeks on the mat. Body's still resting. The goal is that your inhale is the same length as your exhale. So if it takes 2 beats to breathe in, then you breathe out with 2 beats. If it takes 4, then it's 4. There's not a right or a wrong formula. It's just got to match. That's how we start getting our balance. Start to bring the hands back towards you. Let's curl those toes, bring ourselves up, and it's time to come to standing. All right, so we're going to flow through. Let me talk you through this. A couple rounds of our sun salutation. That's the part of our vinyasa flow that we're going to do. That's how we kind of get the heart rate going a little bit. We engage all the muscle groups that we're going to need. And then we're going to spend the majority of our time, once we warm things up, back on our belly. Warming our body up, doing lots of things to get ready for Dhanurasana bow pose. All right? And again, opening up the heart. So first, find your way into mountain pose. Stand tall. When you're in mountain, I want you to feel both feet grounding down. You feel the toes touching, the outer edges of the feet, the inner arches, the heels, all of those points on the earth telling you that you are grounded, you are stable, you are rooted. On the inhale, let's sweep the arms up. Hands meet at the top. They come to prayer. And as you exhale, forward fold, hinging from your hips, bowing down. As you're folding, put a bend in the knees as much as you need to. Let the hands just hang. So in this fold, the legs can be straight, knees can be bent. It doesn't really matter what the legs are doing, but I want you to look at your knees. So as you look at the knees, that's going to allow your head to relax. Real quick, look at your feet and notice how your neck just engaged. You feel that? Now let it go. Look at the knees. So the head's hanging. Breathe here. Don't worry about touching the ground. The arms can just hang. They're just hanging there. Let that blood just flow. Wiggle those fingers, whatever you need to do. We're going to be here for just a few more breaths. Now take the hands behind your back. We're still in the fold. Clasp them together. They're resting right there on your low back. And as you breathe, I want you to inhale, fill your lungs as you lift the arms up. Let them start to fall over as far as they can go. Maybe they come up to the ceiling. Maybe they start falling towards your head. Maybe they just barely lift off your back. It's just a matter of how much rotation you're able to get in those shoulders down the length of your arms. So wherever your body is today, keep breathing. So hamstrings are really engaged. Shoulders, arms, everything working together. Release the hands, bring them back down. What I want you to do here is I want you to take your hands. So again, if you don't have a bend in your knees, put one. Take your hands, turn them upside down, and step on them. So put the right hand under the left foot. So you can put a deep, deep bend in your knees if it's not accessible otherwise. Put the left hand under your foot. And now, bow the head, look at the knees again. Feel the stretch through the arms and the legs. So you're standing on your hands. Your toes are kind of touching toward your wrist. And you're looking at your knees. And again, knees can be bent. In fact, they probably should be. Feel that stretch. This is good for circulation. It is good for digestion. It's good for stimulating all those key organs that you need to have working all throughout your day. It's not just about stretching the hamstrings. So very much more. Let's take the right hand out from the foot. Let's take the left hand out. So let's begin to flow from here. Hands slide onto the shins, look up halfway. This is our half lift. When you're here, you're not pushing on the shins, you're just resting the hands here. But I want you to look straight out, push your chest through your shoulders, still feeling that hamstring stretch. And now bend the knees. Remember when the hands go down, fingers spread wide, so hands go down. Step the right foot back. Step the left foot back. You're in high plank. Let's all hold here for one strong breath. Lower the knees. As you exhale the next time, lower everything you've got. Keep your elbows tucked by the side body. Flip your feet over so the tops of the feet are on the mat. Press the hands into the mat right where they are. On your next inhale, look up, lift the chest, cobra. Immediately you feel that little bitty bend in your back. Breathe through it. Now curl the toes. Let's push to our knees first, then lift the hips, down dog. Take a step in. We're trying to get those hips lifted as high as we can. In down dog, your heels can be up. They can be going down toward the mat. Knees can be bent. Knees can be straight. Your hands haven't moved. They're still with fingers spread wide, pressing into the mat. Notice even how the fingers are pressing in, not just the hand. We got to take care of our wrist. So distribute that weight through the fingers, looking at your legs. And now shift the gaze to the hands. Start to walk your feet up, however many steps it takes you. So you're back at the top of your mat. Hands on the shins, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms as you inhale, rise strong and tall. Hands meet at the top. Exhale, lower down. Now that sunset salutation took a little longer because we hung out in that forward fold. But what that forward fold does for your circulation, for the clarity in your mind, for truly organ stimulation, hamstring stretching, I could go on and on. The forward fold, Uttanasana, that is one of your most powerful poses that you've got. So we shouldn't just fold and come out immediately. We hang out there because it truly does empower us in ways that we can't even imagine. All right, let's do the same thing again, but this time we're going to flow through just a little faster, not hanging out in the fold as long this time. All right, here we go. Arms are alongside you. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, we hinge and fold. Slide the hands onto the shins. Look up halfway. Bend the knees. Remember, fingers spread wide. Step the right back. Step the left back. We're all in high plank. You can hold this right here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale the knees, the thighs, the chest. Hands are still there. Flip your feet over, tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale, cobra. Lift the chest. Exhale, curl those toes. As you push to the knees, lift the hips. We're in down dog. Take a step in. Pedal out your dog. So bend one knee as you push one heel down. Bend the opposite knee, push the other heel down. Pedal those heels one at a time. Breathe through your down dog. I know it's a little tricky. No matter what time of day you're doing it, the first couple down dogs are a little tricky, but they do get easier, I promise. Take the eyes to the hands. Start to walk the feet up. Hands on the shins, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms, rise up. Exhale, lower down. All right, we're going to play around with chair pose. So I'm going to turn and face you so you can see exactly what I'm doing from the front, and then I'll shift around to the side. So before I do that, if you've been hanging out with me, and we're on what, I think day 17 of the Gratitude Challenge. If you've been doing any amount of these classes, you notice that we do that sun salutation a lot. So it's like, why? Why don't we get creative and try something else? Guys, there is nothing you can do that is better than a sun salutation for your body. The way that you're moving your spine from one rotation to from one extension into flexion, you're moving from a back bend, you're moving to pressing the heels up or the hips up, you are lengthening through your neck, you're forward folding, you're engaging the arms, you're even engaging the wrist. There's nothing you can do physically that challenges your body like a sun salutation. It's got it all. Every major muscle group that you need, not only on your mat, but just in your everyday life, you get it in a sun salutation. I tell folks all the time, you go home and do 3 or 4 or 5 of these a day, you will see a change in your health, your stamina, your breath, your physical body in a very short period of time. It's just that powerful. So let's stand tall. We're going to play around with chair pose because we're going to need these core muscles to really support us in bow today. So stand tall first. I want you to bring your hands overhead. So your arms are going up, but your shoulders are down away from your ears. Stand tall right here. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, sink your bottom back, come into chair. Now, when we come into chair, we're really not sure, okay, where do we stop? How far do we sit back? Well, look at your toes. If you can't see them, sit back a little farther. So we're not pushing our bottom all the way back. Let me turn to the side. But we are sitting back enough we can see our toes. So wiggle them while you're looking at them. Root into your feet. Now from here, very gently, just tuck the tailbone a little bit. So imagine you're pressing your belly button toward your spine. Now you're in Utkatasana, chair pose. This is your powerhouse. Kneecaps, calves, quads, belly, arms, it's got it all. Now what we're going to do from here is we're going to stay in chair, but we're going to keep going through cat-cow. So bring the hands to the thighs. So what we're going to do is keep the body in chair. I want you to inhale, drop your shoulders, look up. Maybe your butt sticks out just a little bit. And now exhale, arch the back, roll the chin to the chest, elbows kind of flare forward. Inhale, coming into cow in your chair pose, look up. Exhale, arch your back, roll those shoulders to the ears. Cat. Inhale, cow. Keep those legs stable. You've got this. Exhale, cat. We're just basically moving the chin. Move the chin to the ceiling. And now move the chin to the chest. Do one more. Chin to the ceiling, cow. Chin to the chest, cat. We're back upright. We're still in chair. Bring the arms up. And release. Whoo, shake those legs out because we're coming back to it. So we're going to come back in a chair in just a second, and we're going to play around with some twist and some leg lifts. Again, what chair does is this is your powerhouse right here. We don't work our core because we're trying to get a six-pack. We work our core because every bit of balance you need from stabilizing the low body, engaging the upper body, and I don't mean in yoga, I mean in life. Your ability to stand and to sit with good posture, to sit at your desk, to sit in the car, to do all the activities you want, everything comes from your core. It is critical. So yes, do you want it to look a certain way? Probably so. But what you want is that internal power from your abdomen, your obliques, your low back. You need it working together as this incredible powerhouse wrapped around you. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, here we go. Arms come up. Inhale, tall. Exhale, chair. Sink back. Tuck that tailbone just a little bit. From here, hands come to prayer. So stabilize the low body. And now we twist. Take the right elbow toward the left thigh. You don't have to touch it, just go that way. Left elbow toward the ceiling. So the low body is still in chair, the upper body is in a twist. Come back to center. Low body hadn't moved. Left elbow goes to the right thigh. Right elbow comes toward the ceiling. You're looking to the right. Twist and hold. Hold the pose, not the breath. Keep breathing. Come back to center. Hands are still in prayer. We're in chair. Root into your left foot. Lift your right. Hold. If you fall out of it, put both feet back down. Try again. Lower the right. You're still in chair. Root into the right. Lift the left. Hold. Engaging those legs. There you go. Lower. Release the hands. Rise up. Straighten the legs. And exhale. Bring it all down. Shake it out. Grab you a drink if you need to. We're going to flow one more time. And then we're going to our belly. And we're going to stay down there and do all kinds of good stuff to get the heart open. So it doesn't get easier just because we're on our belly. But you will be down on the mat. So here we go. Stand tall. Inhale. Sweep up. Exhale. Hinge and fold. It's your last forward fold of the day. Hands on the shins. Half lift. Bend the knees. Plant the hands. Step the right back. Step the left back. You're in plank. Hold here. 2 breaths. You can do it for 2 breaths, I promise. Now, knees go down. Exhale, lower the thighs, the chest, everything's on the mat. Flip your feet. Let's come into cobra. Exhale, down. Take your hands, put them on top of each other, make a little pillow. Put your forehead down. What I want you to do here is restore the low back so we can begin to play around with bow. So just breathe, inhaling that energy, sending it down to your low back. Let that pranic energy just wash over the cells of your body. Alrighty, let's come back. So lift your head. We're going to play around just a little bit, really working on getting the chest open. So that cobra we've been doing, we're going to do it again, but we're going to lift our hands this time. So bring the hands where they were. Fingers spread wide. Elbows are tucked close by the body. You're looking on the ground right ahead of you. Inhale. Start to look up. Lift the chest. Bring the hands with you. So as your hands are hovering, your elbows are pulling back. Breathe. Keep breathing. We're going to stay here just a bit. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Lower. Put the right cheek on the mat. Elbows are still kind of lifted up. Palms are on the mat. From here, bring your hands behind your back. Clasp them together, just like we did whenever we were up in that fold. Take the gaze back to center. So you're looking, again, on the ground, right above your mat. Looks like cobra, but this time the hands come up with us. So on your inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, bring the arms away from your bottom. Hold here. So your shoulder blades are actually rolling back toward each other. Your chest is opening up. The way you get those shoulders to roll back is why, that's why you have your hands clasped. They almost have to. Breathe. Again, we're going to hold this one for just a bit. 3 more good breaths. One more. Exhale, lower, release those hands, put them back on the mat. This time it's the left cheek. So the left cheek, the left temple resting. Hands are back on the mat. While we're here, we're going to kind of play with the legs. So we're going to let the upper body relax for just a bit. So you can keep your left cheek on the mat, or you can turn and just look towards center, but we're not going to lift the chest. Or you can actually lay your forehead on the mat. It's whatever you want to do. But from here, I want you to bend the right knee, bring the right heel toward your bottom. So keep the arms still, just bending. Bend, bend, bend. Keep pulling the heel toward your bottom until you feel the quad stretch. That's where you know to hold. Lower that right foot. Bend the left knee. Heel goes toward the bottom. You just felt that glute engage. Now the quads. So imagine I'm pushing on the front of your ankle, trying to take that heel closer to your bottom. Breathe through it. Keep pushing it toward the bottom. And put it back down. Other side again. Right knee bends. Heel goes toward the bottom. Upper body still down on the mat. Push the heel toward the bottom a little more. And now lower the foot. Left heel to the bottom as the knee bends. Here we go. Last time on this side for this round. And lower. All right, this next time we're going to bend the right and we're going to take the right hand back. So bend your right knee. Take the heel toward the bottom. Send your right hand back toward that foot. Now some of you will be able to reach it immediately. You've got really long arms and it works nicely. You grab the foot, you hold here. If you can't, I know you're looking at my foot and I'm grabbing onto it. Maybe if you can't, maybe the heel keeps coming and the hand's just going toward it. So imagine you're reaching, you just keep trying to get it. Don't look back there, just keep reaching. So you're opening up through that right shoulder as it pulls toward the foot. Nothing's coming off the mat. We're just reaching toward the foot. Preparing our bodies for Dhanurasana, bow pose. If you're holding onto the foot, release it. Everybody lower the right, bring the right hand back. Let's take the left heel to the bottom, the knee bends. Send the left hand back. Now one side might have reached the foot and the other might not. Maybe you've got better rotation on one side than the other. If you can grab it, fabulous. If you can't, just as fabulous because you're grabbing toward it. So I want you to grab it until you start to feel that left shoulder opening up just a bit. So it's almost like the left shoulder's lifting a little more away from the mat. You're still looking down. We're bending that left knee, heels going toward the bottom. And now release, hand comes back down. All right, this next time you probably figured it out. We're going to do both, but we're not lifting our chest yet. That's what's going to come in one more round. So bend both knees. Both heels fall toward the bottom. Take the hands back. See if you can reach. If you can't, maybe you're kind of wiggling the fingers toward the heels. Maybe you're just stretching the hands as much as you can until you feel those shoulders pull from the mat. Maybe you're grabbing your feet. You have so many options, but I want you to keep looking down. We're not lifting our chest yet. You should feel this, that stretch in your hip flexor even. As your hips and your pelvis are on the mat, you should feel that really nice stretch going up and down from your waist all the way down through your legs. Oh, keep breathing. We're just increasing your range of motion, one pose at a time. If you're holding the feet, let them go. Everybody's hands come back. Let's put our right cheek on the mat. So if you had your neck up, give it a break. Twist the head, left cheek on the mat. Up next is bow. When we come into bow, we are going to pull our quads and our chest off the mat. Whether you're grabbing the feet or not, you're going to work on pulling the hands toward the feet. That's what's going to help you. If you happen to have a strap at home that you want to strap around your foot and you grab that, then fabulous. We haven't talked a lot about props, but if you have a strap you know you're going to need, you can grab it right now. All right, gaze is back to center. Bend both knees, heels fall toward the bottom. Take the hands back, we're trying to grab the feet. If you cannot grab the feet, you grab toward them. Now first off, I want you to inhale and exhale one full round, then we use the next inhale to rise. So here we go, breathe in. Let everything out of your body, empty it. Inhale again, kick the feet into the hands, lift the chest. So your quads and your knees are coming off the mat, so is your chest. Breathe. Dhanurasana bow pose. My heart is open and I am creating space for gratitude. My heart is open. I am creating space for gratitude. One more breath. Exhale, lower everything down, let go of the feet, release. We're going to do it one more time. Right cheek on the mat. When we let go, when we're back in this crocodile pose, I know your low back loves it. Twist the head, left cheek on the mat. Think about that affirmation for Dhanurasana. My heart is open. I'm creating space for gratitude. Oh, instead of filling up my space with stress and tension and worry and schedules and Google calendars and whatever else you've got, we're going to fill it up with gratitude. Gaze comes back to center. This is our last round. I told you we'd be on our bellies for a bit, but it wasn't going to be simple time. So here we go. Bend the knees toward and bring the heels toward the bottom. Take the hands back. Work on grabbing the feet. If If you can't grab the feet, you just keep stretching those hands back. The last thing you need to do is you've got to find those feet with your hands. That's what your goal is. So inhale. Let all the breath out. Inhale. Kick into the hands. Lift the chest. Lift the knees off the mat. Dhanurasana. My heart is open and I am creating space for gratitude. 2 more good breaths right here. Exhale, lower. Let's push the hands down. Go back into child's pose. Oh, this should feel nice in the low back as you come down to child's pose. Let it all go. Dhanurasana, all those things we were doing, they kind of take a toll on your low back because we haven't strengthened the low back muscles as much as we need to. But I promise you, it does get a little easier. But however old you are, whatever kind of activity you've had, we're trying to undo some of the things that we've done to our body. And one of the places that we typically don't take a lot of care of is our low back. So it needs to be strengthened, but it's also going to tell you that it can't. It's going to be one of your frustration points. But it's also going to be a really nice way for you to work through that frustration and give yourself grace and acceptance. So don't let your low back tell you that you can't. Let your low back tell you the pace at which you need to move. It's going to tell you how to ease your way into things. Listen to it. 2 more breaths right here in child's pose. And then once you come out of child's pose, begin to bring yourself up. And we're actually going to spend our couple minutes of Shavasana in fetal position. So I want you to come onto your right hip. Bring yourself down. Take your right arm. Make a little pillow like with your bicep. And put your head on it. So we're on the right hip. The knees are coming into our chest or into our body. The left hand's on the mat. And I want you to close your eyes right here. It's a little different way to end our time. A little different kind of Shavasana. But this is fetal position. And what you know about a fetal position is that it represents new life, birth, transformation. So what I want you to do as you lie there is think about all the things that you cleared out of your heart, making space for gratitude. What things have you let go of? What things might you need to say no to? What boundaries do you need to set? What promises do you need to keep to yourself about the way that you want to take care of yourself? What commitments do you need to refine to make sure that you're not getting what's left over? All of those things are so perfect to think about here in fetal position. Because once we rise from here, those things are gone. The thoughts have come across our mind, the schedules we need to let go of, the boundaries we need to set, whatever it is. Instead of those things clouding us when we rise up, they will give us clarity. Fresh, new birth, new outlooks. New perspectives. And the most beautiful part is the more we clear out those cobwebs, the more space we have for gratitude. So very gently, start to press that left hand into the mat, rolling yourself up, coming back into seated. Feels good to sit back up. Just find your way into a seated position, whatever's comfortable. Bring your hands to prayer. Close your eyes. Say those words again. My heart is open and I am creating space for gratitude. My heart is open and I'm creating space for gratitude. What a beautiful way to either start your day, to refine yourself about midday, or to end your day. It doesn't matter what time you're on your mat. It is time well spent. Namaste.